Thank you for tuning into the Disclosures with Peter the Insider and Jessica Arael Morocco. Peter is the director of the 12th Division of the ACIO, Advanced or Alien Contact Intelligence Organization. Jessica is a galactic liaison and interdimensional seer. Together, they will discuss the most current updates from the ACIO, Council of Five, and other extraterrestrial sources. Make sure to post your questions and comments below. Disclosures, insider intel that keeps you updated with planetary changes.
Hello, everyone. Happy Memorial Day, and thank you for listening today. We have Peter. Peter is here to provide an update for us, and we're going to continue on with some of the conversations regarding the swastika, to talk about some of the ancient origins and so forth. But without further delay, I'm just going to let Peter get into it, because we're talking about the system is changing and moving in a certain direction regarding fifth density. So what some of the things will be like there?
Yes, so thank you very much for giving me opportunity to be on the channel. Yes, the stuff is like we need to talk about swastika, symbology, and whatsoever. And you are way much, much better in this symbolism. So maybe you can make some introduction and whatsoever, and then we can move on.
Now, we've already talked about the symbol being a very ancient symbol covering various cultures from Eurasia, Africa, American cultures, early American, First Nations, and then eventual appropriation by the NAZI party. And we talk about how it is vertical, but when it gets into the NAZ party, it goes in a backward movement, a motion, which is like a retrograde or moving back in time, as opposed to its correct station, which is, directly horizontal and perpendicular.
Yep, that's true.
So just as an overview, we covered, some of the understanding of when they did this, what the intention was. And maybe if you want to give an overview of that, Peter, feel free to do so.
Yes, it was very easy. I mean, they want to gain tremendous amounts of power in very short period of time. Problem is, or let's say, they completely overlook one thing, and it is that there is one, let's call it catch, that once it is backwards, as you described, that means that it is designed that rulers, or let's say people, they are in charge, will be the masters, and the people, they are down below, they will be their slaves. But they overlook, people, they designed this 20th century crap, they overlook one thing, that once this quotes in quotes greedy success, because it was like that, once it will be over, it will start to eat them alive. The symbology itself, it will start eat them alive from inside out, just by the way.
So you mean like they knew that when they started tampering with this symbol that it was going to be detrimental to them?
Do you know what? They knew it, but they believed that they will get some sort of backwards spell in order to revert it in Thule society. Thule Gesellschaft in German language. They believe it. They really believed it. I don't know why, but it was like that. Thule Gesellschaft, yeah, society, yeah, it was like that. Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Gesellschaft right here.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, and so well here it's straight up and down. That other picture that I showed was from Denmark and it was on a very old stone. But you said that it was there because of time travel, right?
Yeah.
Because they were showing that they were time traveling and then putting their mark on that was just identified with their group.
Yeah, that's true. So that's true, but this is it. Look, there because of this big difference, it is pretty much like the symbol. It's like binocular once, or monocular, my bad, once you, for example, are using a sniper rifle. So they believe falsely that thanks to this orientation of symbol versus so this was original orientations of the symbol, how it should look like. This is big difference, how it should look like, okay?
And so they didn't like it tilted backwards, they liked it like this style. Is that what you're saying?
Give me a second. Yes, you are absolutely right. You get it right, 100%. But they believed falsely that thanks to Thule society, or Thule Gesellschaft in German, and please move to the previous page. I think you've got it like in the card. Yep. Mm-hmm. And they believed that they can, how can I say, trick the power of this NAZI symbol. And of course, they believed fake. It was false, right? That's the main stuff, right?
So you're saying that the Thule society was trying to undo or change the power structure with the NAZI?
Yes.
I thought they were working together.
Give me a second. Yes, they were working together, but that was initial belief, because the symbol of Thule society, or Thule Gesellschaft, what we saw was like, yeah, okay, this has magical power, and so on, etc. But then they've got like, okay, why in the world we can make the symbology even more powerful? And then bam, it hits the fan, and then they rotate. Give me a second. That was original symbol. And then they turned it 45 degrees. And this is it what I said. That was the reason they earned that, they gained that much of tremendous amount of power in such short period of time. But we know what was the deal. You know what I mean. What happened? Yeah, that's the stuff. Because turning in 45 degrees, it's not a big problem if we are talking about, okay, turn 45 degrees. But if you are doing it in a good way, what I'm trying to say, because once you don't know what you are doing, I will give you, it will end up very bad. I will give you very good example. You go to the to the nature, wild nature, right? And you start to pick up mushrooms. And you know the rest of the story. If you know which kind of mushrooms you can pick up, it can be tasty, for example, omelette with mushrooms, eggs and whatsoever. But if you don't know, because you are not familiar with the mushrooms, with types of mushrooms, you will end up either with very bad poisoning whatsoever, because many mushrooms are poisonous, and you will end up in hospital, or maybe dead. And this is the very same story, very same case. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and well, these symbols are very, very powerful, and being misused. It's just like people tampering with the Egyptian mummies. I know a lot of people think, well, I'm going to challenge it, and I'm going to say, oh, it's not going to affect me, and it might not affect you in the way that you think it would, but in the end, there's like this violation of something because it had a certain purpose in it. Right?
I will tell you something, okay? I will tell you something. Mummies and whatsoever, okay? Mummies, and those symbols, I mean swastikas whatsoever, they will not forget. It's like, no. If you don't know, I mean, if you don't 100% know what you are doing, then don't touch it. Don't touch it. And people
like the mummies will go after people, that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah. And people are making fun from that. It is pretty much like, for example, Ouija board or pendulum or tarot cards or whatsoever. And I was like, what in the world? Those people are, do you know what I mean? They are shaking and stuttering and whatsoever. And I'm like, what? You played with the, do you know what I mean? With the matches. And you scratch the matches over the open barrel with full of gasoline, and then you are now surprised that it explode. Jesus. Yep. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because they I don't want to say either they don't believe that it is that powerful, or they want to try just try it because they are curious or so. I don't understand it, and then it ends up bad for those people.
Jeez. Yeah, I know people that maybe they came from a well-to-do family and they had plenty of money, and so they took their kids to museums, and then one of the sons just changed personality. I mean, the child got taken over. And became somebody else.
And we can see, or maybe can you roll down, please? Scroll down.
Sure.
Because we can see how many different cultures are coming the different swastikas from. We can see it.
It's a mirror image of them, right?
Yep. And this is goddamn crazy. I mean, for real, okay? Don't even try to touch this. Mirror image swastikas, holy moly. Like, don't do that, okay? Don't do that.
Because, I think they actually even use it as a pattern too sometimes. Like a design. Yep.
Sorry, what, please?
They use it as a design, like a pattern. So if there's a piece of material,
yes.
See them going like this, like the mirror's going all the way across,
Yeah, you are right. You are right, but I'm just saying, it's like so many people are making fun from that and whatsoever, and I'm like, hey guys, don't do that. Because those gods, I am not expert in this field, but or those spirits whatsoever. So let's say some sort of unknown force, what is hidden or which is hidden in swastika symbology, will hunt them down. And they simply, oh my god, they are making fun from that. I don't like that, to be honest. It is not taken that serious as it should be or can be. Do you know what I mean?
Here's an interesting piece right here.
Okay.
So, according to the scholar Riza Asasi, the swastika represents the north ecliptic North Pole, centered in Draconis and the constellation of Draco. So that's like Iron Sky.
Yeah, that's true.
When you think of it, that movie, Iron Sky.
Why are you laughing? It's true. What's the deal?
Yeah. No, I know that. I'm just sharing that all of these different things that people, say, oh, it's just a TV show or it's.
And I will say you some interesting, let's say, fun fact. Reza Asazi, this gentleman is from Iran, so it's Persian. He's from Persia.
It sounds like he is, scholar, probably historian, because then he also argues that the symbol was later attested as the 4-horse chariot of Mithra in ancient Iranian culture. So this is
I said that.
Right? And they also talk about in Revelation about the 4 horsemen.
Yeah.
Right? In the Bible.
You are right. You are very, very right. That's actually the reason why, like, what means 4th horse? Give me a second. The sites in the world. Do you know what I mean? Like north, east, south, west, and the 4th horse was the west, and that means that it is like no-go situation for Zoroastrians to be buried. I mean, only honorability, like, priests, and whatsoever, or teachers, or I don't know, like people being in charge, they are, or they have right to be buried, but common people, no. So that's the reason. Because 4th horse will take them either to west or to north, and it's like no, this is line. We should not get like quote in quotes normal people, because if we try to consider what we are talking about, west or east, it means horizontal, but north and south, it means vertical. You know what I'm trying to say? Because vertical is the stuff where honorability can go. Do you know what I'm trying to say? That's it.
So the question is then, is this the influence that we're getting is coming from Draconis?
Pretty much.
Draco. Is that why? Now, are you saying that all Nazi or NAZIs are connected to Dracos, or are you saying that that's just an influence?
It is influence from another reality, but not from fifth dimension or 5th array density. Definitely not from another reality. That's You know what I mean?
So this is another example of the symbol, but it's not the only one. Is that what you're saying?
Yep, that's it.
Is this the lower consciousness one, the lower
Exactly, lower consciousness, because if you can see, it is not complete swastika, it's more complicated. And if you can see those kind of weird endings of swastikas, that lower, that makes the consciousness lower, like being people have greed, have lust, I mean being greedy for money, always want to this in Latin, carpe diem, that means like having
seize the
wildness,
day.
like, sorry, what?
Seize
Enjoy
the
the
day.
day. Yeah, enjoy the day, that means like, going to parties, to eat a lot of food, to have sex and whatsoever. Yes, greed, filth, lust for sex, whatsoever. So lower consciousness, like primal instincts pretty much, but being very, how can I say it, almost primitive or something like that.
Well, I think what you're saying is, well, the extreme of that, like some people can perceive seize the day as, or a carpe diem as enjoy your life in the moment. Other people, it's more like whatever you want to do, whether it's right or wrong.
The second one, sorry for interrupting you, but let me correct. The second one is the best one. Yep. Do whatever you want to do. Yes.
Which is kind of, we'll bring out Aleister Crowley.
Oh man,
who taught that was do as you will. I think I'm not sure what the guy, because I just watched the story, the information about Jack Parsons, and
what was this guy's deal? Oh my God, Aleister Crowley. He
went he didn't have any parameters. He just kept going into the deeper and deeper into the occult, and I guess he didn't die very healthy, but I think he had syphilis or something like that. But he started that cult called Thelema. But there was the story about Jack Parsons, which was very interesting because it affects space travel. And we talk about space travel all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
Strange Angel is the name of the series, and it was quite an interesting show. It shows a lot about what they believe, what they practice, but also, you know how you say, Peter, that you tamper with things, you get into trouble. Well, Jack Parsons was very, very smart. He was a rocket scientist, and and by the way, one of his names is Marvel, which I believe they got the Marvel comics, but nobody really
that's true.
it. But they kind of used that name suddenly after he was around. But people didn't know how to deal with him because he had this insight about rocket science and was figuring things out and could actually look at something and know that it was wrong. He had strong intuition. And because of that, they said he wasn't scientific enough, even though he was probably more scientific than they were, but they were afraid of him.
Sorry.
Right?
Sorry, I can't. Sorry, sorry, that was too much for me. Jeez.
Yeah, sorry. I mean, it's that's what he actually looked like, and he got curious and got into probably exploring other options of belief systems, and it was kind of intriguing because he's very high IQ. He wanted something more stimulating mentally, and then he got into this occult, which people that are very intelligent tend to go for something that is not basically traditional. They want something new or interesting, and
yes, you are right.
Yeah, and they didn't judge him because I think he felt judged for being eccentric or in a way, or having probably psychic abilities, and so went into that direction. I'm not saying that's the right thing to do, but that's how it
Oh, I
happened. But it was,
understand you. I got you completely. Yeah, yeah.
but yeah, you know, and they use symbologies. Probably I would not be surprised if the swastika was not included in some of their practices somewhere.
Yeah, you are right.
So,
So
getting
yes,
back,
that was the best. How can I say the best definition? Do whatever you want and do whatever you like. I mean, carpe diem, like enjoy the day. Yes, that's yeah. You are right.
yeah,
So this
regardless of
is
how it
it. This
affects
is
anyone
it.
else.
This symbology, like in North Pole, it is wicked because it is not call it. Let's call it clean. You know, clean way. Do you know what I mean? We can see it. It is not
Yeah, it
crossed,
has, they add a hook. There's like a hook that goes out, whereas you don't see that hook here.
and this is it because those four hooks, it will hook you into very, how can I say it, very low, consciousness, and that's the basic problem.
Okay,
Yeah.
so here it says they call it the gate of heaven or pivot of heaven is the processional north celestial pole with an Ursa Minoris as the pole star with the spinning chariot constellations in the four phases of time, generally translated as heaven, refers to the northern celestial pole and the pivot in the vault of the sky with spinning constellations. The celestial pivot can be represented by, and then they show this as a symbol, but here again now. So my question is, Peter, there's varying degrees of this darkness, and those that got into the NAZI ended up in some of these spaces. In this
This is it
space.
what I said. This is it what I said. Because they hooked them in low stuff, really low stuff. You know what I mean? Low consciousness whatsoever. That's it.
I mean, I actually had, I would say a disagreement, but it kind of, yeah, someone from the community, from our community, we had a discussion and there was a lot of talk about Dracos, and I said, you should not be talking to Dracos because they're not here for any higher intent for humanity. They're here to suck or use or harm humanity or take from humanity.
Yeah, that's true.
And they thought their interpretation is that they were soldiers and they were part of their team or they were welcomed. And I said, no, they were used. And there's a lot of belief in this area that people are not providing clarity, but it's the dangers or the hooking in of this system that will not end up well for those individuals. And even as much as that person thought I was not being very nice to them or agreeable.
Yeah, I know who you are talking about. Yeah.
Right. Ultimately, I was looking out for him and warning him. And even though he turned it into that I was, attacking his views or whatever, disagreeing with his some kind of accomplishment that he thought he had with this system or with, being, a soldier with them, which, like I said, they owned him. And I was just trying to help him to, re-empower himself away from that and go into the right direction. So,
yep. You are very
and
right.
this is, it's almost like it split the community in half. And, so people still, to this day, are picking a side for what works for them, I guess. And that's all we can say. But anyhow, getting back to this, here they talk about a comet the book Comet by Carl Sagan, and the appearance of a rotating comet or a four-pronged tail they've seen as early as 2,000 years BCE could explain why swastikas found in the cultures of both the Old World and the pre-Columbian Americas.
Yep.
The Han Dynasty Book of Silk depicts such a comet with a swastika-like symbol. And it's right here.
Yeah, that's it. But look closer. I mean, can we go with more? Yeah, that is. Look, isn't this like that? I mean, it is. How can I say it? It is horizontal and vertical. Look, it is horizontal and vertical, and that's it. What I'm talking about. Yep.
But
because
they add these circles here in the center, though, Peter. Is that something different, or?
Yes, it means like it should lead us to very certain point, or let's say from this point of view, to very certain, how can I say it, outcome. Do you know what I mean? And it means, or it will be, our goal reality or context of existence in fifth array density. You know what I mean?
So this is from the Book of Silk in the Han Dynasty.
In China, yeah.
In China, yeah. They also have these pitchforks. What's your thoughts on the pitchforks that they have there? Or it means something else?
To be perfectly honest, they are connected because they not only looks, but they works as quotes in quotes antennas.
Yeah, because this also looks like an antenna to me.
Yeah.
And this right here, they look like antlers, but they also could be, as well as this.
Yeah. To improve quotes in quotes navigation signal. Yeah, it is like that. What?
So we have the Pima people from the Native Americans. Here's in Arizona.
And look, 4 winds. This is it all the time. 4.
Red angle swastika is primarily representative of the circle of 4 wind gods standing at the head of their trails of all directions. This part right here, Peter, 4 wind gods.
Yeah, that's it. What I said. Yep. Exactly. Yeah. You will. Geez, we need to say. Well, we need to see. Is this working? What's the stuff here? What is this? Technique is doing bananas.
List of wind. No, that's not it.
Yeah.
People who are the 4 wind deities? No, that's well, in Greek they have the 4 winds. Yeah. The Boreas, the Zephyrus, which is the west, Notus is south, and the Eurus is the east. But there is a here's the Hawaiian list of wind deities.
Yeah.
4 winds of the spirit keepers, Native American.
Yeah, that's it. You are right. That's it. Jeez, yeah. Why in the world is
all these extra pages? And there's Swan, Peter. I don't know.
Yeah, all the time. All the time.
Are we going to talk about the Swan program at some point?
Maybe. We need to talk about next level system, not today, but next show. Yep. Because we are running low on time, like 15 minutes or so.
Well, let's get back So there's the native system, and there's something here. Was it? Nope.
What?
Here we go. I think further down there was a picture that I saw
What?
that to me was stood out quite a bit. See if I can find it.
What?
Look at this.
Yeah, I know. I know. I mean, I am surprised that you are surprised.
And his name, Chief William Neptune, which we were just looking at the constellations
Yeah, I know it. I know it.
of Passamaquoddy wearing a headdress in an outfit adorned with swastikas. So I don't know if they show the year when he did this, but obviously it probably was around 1920, which was pre, NAZI movement. So, it's obvious that this is an ancient symbol and it meant something to the tribe.
Yeah, you are
in
right.
way of protection or, ancient symbology.
But this is the stuff like, yeah, look.
That this is the Chilocco Indian Agricultural School basketball team in 1909.
Yeah, for example. And that's the problem, like so many people believe this or that. But look, 1912. Look, girls club.
The girls club. Yeah, like the Cub Scouts, the Boy Scouts, the girls club. Yeah, the Girl Scouts, the Brownies. Yeah. I mean, I was a part of all that.
I'm just saying, and so many people believe this or that, it is bad and whatsoever. I don't know why. Yeah, geez.
Yeah, I mean, we can go back up again, but I just want to share that symbol. Here's another Native American one. Native American division, 1930s, the Pima symbol.
Yep,
and
you are right.
This group is from South Arizona, northwestern Mexico, Sonora, and Chihuahua. And this is the Four Winds, they call it.
Yeah, you are right. I mean, so many people believe it is not like that, but it is. Believe me, it is. And so many, just by the way, so many London buildings have swastika all around the place, all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, we can literally go into each culture because we're talking about European. Here's Spain. There's Corinth, which is like Greece.
Yeah,
it's another one that's Greek. I mean, you see things that are Romanesque. I mean, it just keeps going on and on.
Yeah,
this
you are
one's
right.
Polish. Yeah.
And that was from Poland, I think. This complicated. Can you go down, further down? This was from Poland, I think. Yeah, this was from Poland.
That's from Poland.
Look, this is complicated. Jeez.
Yeah, it has multiple ones, like three of them together.
But look how complicated it is. These and there and there. Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Do you know why they are like that for? It is amplifier. Like why they are 3 instead of 2. Do you know what I mean? It is amplifier. Yeah. Amplifier for effect. Do you know what I mean? It will amplify the effect of the whole stuff.
And they called it the hands of God.
Yep. That's the reason why they are calling it like that. Look.
And that's the hands of God right here. And see, now this right here, this looks like something right out of, like, if you go to Iceland, you'll see things like this.
Exactly.
Or some of the old like Viking symbology.
Yep. It is mixing. It is mixing, and people don't believe it. People don't believe it. Don't
So
ask me why.
the problem is that people are going out and you see these young people that get hooked into some kind of like, I don't know if they're groups or cults or what they are, and then they're going out and harming innocent people and then having that symbology on them. So
Yeah.
what do you think about that? What's the it's almost to make it all look like everybody is connected to like a negative group of the NAZIs, or
Yes, you are right. That was and still is ultimate goal.
but the symbol doesn't belong to them. The symbol
Nah, it's not.
to,
It's not.
to the
It's
world.
not.
So I mean, we can you said that you feel limited in time. Did you you said last time in the show that the South America refused to use that symbol at some point, which put them in a place where then they had like the end of the world scenario showed up instead.
Yeah, you are right. And then they like, oh my God, maybe we should start to do so. Yeah, you are right. Yeah, you are
So
right.
because like we're not picking on anyone, but there, clearly there were some problems there, and now you can see, large populations of South America coming up,
Yeah.
escaping from something. I don't know if
But
it's some
look, give me a
oppression
second. Give me a second. Please, let me fill this in. If you will be there, I don't know what you will do. It's like, holy moly, it's next level crap what is going on there.
so
There is instability. There is instability in the region.
is someone taking it over?
Do you know what I will say? Not someone, but something. Chaos. Total chaos. Those states are only on a map. I mean, the borders and whatsoever. It's pretty much some sort of chaos at what happened in Syria or Iraq or something like that. They've got governments and whatsoever, but drug cartels and whatsoever. It's absolute. It's next level
Chaos.
crap.
Yeah. Also, I had heard that I'm just going to bring us back here.
And what happened in Colombia? This peace pact. I mean the peace treaty with FARC. It is unfair because it was like, okay, there will be no violence and whatsoever, no women and child raping and slavery, but they need to lower the price. This need to be edited. Sorry, the prison. I mean the years, the rates for those let's say high ranked, drug barons and whatsoever for cartels, like for 30-40 years, then okay, 3-4 maybe 5 years in prison and whatsoever, and some of them get completely free and whatsoever. This is unfair. This is unfair, because they know that they will do that kind of crap. If they will continue with that. Jeez.
But is this from a bleed through, or what?
No. This happened like here and real. Yes, it is a bleed through. You are right, but this bleed through is so goddamn real that all the people all around the world, rest of the world is afraid because such a bleed through can happened anywhere and at any time and at any point. And for example, we've got those kind of local wars in many of them, dozens of them in South America. Then we've got a local war in Sudan versus South Sudan in Africa, but there are dozens of them too in Africa, but this is largest one in decades. Then we know what is happening in Ukraine. Then we know what is happening in Syria, Iraq. We know what is happening in Yemen, for example. And it is on in Myanmar, in formerly Burma, and it is going on and going on, and that's a problem.
But where is it? What is the origin of it? As from the ACIO perspective, not just the individuals and governments.
12th array density. No, please, let me correct you. 12th array density / 12th dimension.
And why is it?
Give me a second. Not 12th dimension. It is like 4th dimension, but it is bleed through from 4th dimension. But this is the stuff like 12th D Pleiades they created their own, let's call it clone or 12th dimension, and they are making dozens of scenarios. It is crazy. Jeez.
Are they running from? Are they trying to hide from something? So they're trying to create chaos here.
Do you know what? Yeah, you are right.
So yeah, I just want to clarify that. So it's literally from as we're raising in dimensionals, as we're moving out of 3D, passing through the chaos of 4D to get to 5D. This is the problem that we're encountering. Is the 12th Pleiades. I say 12th because it's not dimension that they're from.
But give me a second. The problem is that 12th dimension or 12th array density should be perfectly harmonized. The problem is they faked it. They create multiple clones of it. It is crap. Jesus.
And that's what we're dealing with, is the chaos.
Yes, and just by the way, because they literally pressured 8 dimensions together from 12th to 4th, and they make it happen. They programmed it as a bleed through from 4th here to 3rd, because if we are talking about even dimensions, it is very bad. And odd dimensions, it is great, or it should be at least, So that's it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Well, when are we going to resolve that, Peter? I mean, how's that get resolved?
In 10 or 12 years, maybe.
So are they hooked in with Monarch, Mobius?
Yes, because that's what I said. Because they
in the shadow group.
Yes, they hooked one step. I mean, they hooked the first half step, what was from 2012 to 2022, but they somehow it happened that they add second half of the step. I mean, step in, do you know what I mean? Time traveling. So that means full step, aka 20 years. So 2032. I mean, instead of 2012 to 2032. Jeez, this will ruin us.
So you told me earlier that there was an intention for us to go in the right direction, going into 5th density by 2030.
Fifth density or fifth dimension. Yeah, that's true. I mean, give me a second. We will end up there. We will. But I don't know what will happen with, during those like 10 years. It will be pain in the ass. Jeez.
And that's because the 12 Pleiadians are trying to interfere with our progress.
Exactly.
Along with Monarch, Mobius, Umbrella Corporation, Shadow Group.
You nailed it. You nailed it. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think that's how we'll finish up here then. Peter, if you're happy with everything that we brought to light. And,
you know what? I think that's it. What we should talk about today. Next show will be very, very, very interesting, because we will talk about system, regime, and whatsoever in our onwards, or let's say next reality or context of existence. So for me, very good show. I don't know, what do you think? If you have any last words or so, what do you think?
I just want to tell everyone, thank you, Peter, for bringing up a difficult subject, because it's really easy to talk about what everybody likes and, give them promises of, lots of money or some kind of rainbow ending. And I'm not saying that we're not saying that we're going in a right direction or a good direction. I believe we are, but we're just explaining it in a whole different way. And I appreciate those that have the patience to listen through, rather than just say, oh, I'm not interested in that topic, or that's not love and light, or that's not the typical things that others are talking about right now. So I appreciate that you're listening through everything that we're saying, and considering that there's a negative part of many things as well as a positive, and it's good to understand both so you can make a decision. You can have a more intelligent assessment of the situation, and to not just, be a listener, but be a participant. I'm encouraging all of you to be participants in learning this information and growing from it, and being prepared and having more insight going forward. So thank you, everyone. And thanks again, Peter. And thank you for your support, and also appreciate your, subscribing with us. And also anything from Patreon is very, very appreciated. Have a good day, everyone.
You have been listening to the Disclosures with Peter the Insider and Jessica Marrocco. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Visit www.acio-agency.org and www.readingsbyarael.com. Post your questions and comments below. We look forward to hearing from you. Feel free to support our work. All links can be found in the description. Thank you.